Silence speaks louder than words, the Buddhist secret to true success. Welcome to Buddhist Motivation, where we explore the timeless teachings of Buddhism to inspire and transform our lives. Today, I'm excited to share with you a story that carries a powerful lesson, one that might just change the way you approach your goals and dreams. In a world filled with noise and distractions, sometimes the most profound answers lie in silence. Before we dive into this insightful story, I'd like to ask for your support. If you enjoy content that helps you grow and find deeper meaning in life, please take a moment to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to me and motivates me to keep creating more meaningful videos for you. Now, let's explore the Buddhist secret to true success, the wisdom of silence. The story of Tenzin and the monk. In a small monastery in the mountains of Tibet, there lived a young monk named Tenzin. He was dedicated, wise beyond his years, and had great ambitions to bring peace and enlightenment to the people. However, there was one thing that often stood in his way: he loved to talk. Tenzin was always eager to share his thoughts, his ideas about the Dharma, and his plans for spreading Buddhist teachings to the world. He would often talk about his dreams of building large temples, creating community outreach programs, and traveling far and wide to teach the Dharma to all who would listen. His fellow monks admired his enthusiasm and vision. They often told him, "Tenzin, you have great plans. You will change the world." But despite all his plans, Tenzin found that his ambitions remained unfulfilled. He worked hard, but his words seemed to take up more of his time than his actions. One day, an old monk who had spent decades in meditation and silence noticed Tenzin's constant talking. He approached Tenzin and said, "Tenzin, you speak of many great things, but have you truly achieved any of them?" Tenzin paused. He had talked about his goals for years, but he had accomplished little. "I try my best, Master, but nothing seems to come to fruition," he replied. The old monk smiled gently and said, "Let me tell you a story that may help you understand." The story of the silent Buddha. The monk began his story, one that had been passed down through generations. Long ago, when Buddha was meditating under the Bodhi tree, he too had faced a great challenge. He had been seeking enlightenment for many years, but he found that the more he spoke of his path, the further away it seemed. People would gather around him, listening to his teachings, but Buddha realized that words alone could not lead to enlightenment. True wisdom came through silence, contemplation, and mindful action. The Buddha chose to stop speaking for a while. The monk continued, and in his silence, he found peace. It was during this period of silence that he reached his moment of enlightenment. He realized that silence is not merely the absence of words, but the presence of awareness, focus, and clarity. Just like the Buddha, sometimes, in order to reach our true potential, we must quiet our minds and let our actions speak louder than words. Tenzin listened closely, and for the first time, he felt a deep understanding. He realized that he had been wasting his energy talking about his goals rather than taking meaningful steps towards achieving them. The monk's words touched his heart, and he made a vow to himself. From that moment on, he would speak less and act more. The lesson. The next day, Tenzin began his new journey. Instead of talking about his plans, he focused on his practice, his meditation, and his small but meaningful actions. He started teaching the Dharma to a small group of monks and novices in his monastery. Slowly, his work began to bear fruit. He created a community of peaceful, mindful individuals who spread compassion to the surrounding villages. Word of his quiet dedication and wisdom spread far and wide. Tenzin became known not for his words, but for his actions. He did not need to boast about his achievements. His success was evident in the hearts of those he had touched. The second story, The Farmer and the Silent Seed. There is another story that helps illustrate this point even more clearly. In a small village, there was a poor farmer named Chandra. He had one dream, to grow the most beautiful rice crops in the region. But Chandra had a very unique approach to farming. He never spoke about his dreams to anyone, not even his family. Instead, he focused all his energy on his work. The villagers would often ask him, "Chandra, why do you work so hard without sharing your plans? Don't you want others to know about your goals?" Chandra would simply smile and say, "When you speak too much, you waste energy. Words cannot grow crops, only action can." Years passed, and Chandra's farm flourished. His rice was so beautiful and abundant that even the king visited his fields. "Chandra," the king said, "how did you grow such amazing rice?" Chandra replied with a humble smile, "Through silence, patience, and mindful action." Conclusion. And there you have it, the powerful lesson from Tenzin's story and the teachings of Buddha. Silence, focus, and mindful action truly hold the key to transforming our lives. In our fast-paced world, where everyone is talking, sometimes the greatest power lies in doing, quietly and consistently. As you reflect on today's story, I encourage you to embrace the silence in your life, listen to your inner voice, and let your actions speak for you. Remember, real success is not about the noise we make, but the impact we create. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with those who might need to hear it. And make sure to stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive deeper into more Buddhist teachings to help guide you on your path to self-discovery. Until then, stay mindful, stay focused, and remember, silence is a powerful tool. See you next time.